If you're a drummer who uses tracks in your live performances, I have a question for you. What do you find more interesting? This? Or this? If you're like me and you want to go beyond just pushing a play button, this video is going to show you how to take sample loops, cut them up, and map them onto your drum pads so that you can play your favorite loops in real time. Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Chris Eaton and I am a drummer percussionist who has used electronic drums for most of my career. I recently posted pictures of my kit online and got a lot of people asking me what I'm doing with it. So I decided to create this YouTube channel to share some of the ways that I've harnessed drumming technology. I'll show you some of the techniques I use that go beyond traditional drumming concepts and show you how they allow me to function as a percussion ensemble. Each week I'll be posting new content, so if you find it useful, be sure to come back. I'm going to show you the production behind what I did with this. First thing is I ripped the sample of Bubba O'Reilly, just the intro part, and using Peak, I just kind of grabbed the first two measures just for demonstration purposes. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to open the program Recycle. And Recycle is one of many programs that will allow you to take a long loop and slice it up into fragments. So here's my sample. And that's what it sounds like. I'm going to open it up. And let's expand this window a little bit to make viewing a little easier. Okay, so like I said, I have 2 bars, and we have to indicate how many bars are in this sample. So I'm going to put a 2 right there. 4/4 time. There's a tempo. Now, if you look at this waveform, and if you were to count all those waves, there would be 32, representing 16th notes, 2 bars. Now, the next step is to turn up this sensitivity knob slider. As you turn it up, you can see now you have these slice markers starting to appear. And I want to put one on every sample right now. However, to play 16th notes on the pad is a little busy. So what I decided to do is to take half of these markers and get rid of them. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to turn a 16th note rhythm into an 8th note rhythm, where each 8th note is going to contain 2 waveforms or 2 16th notes. So basically I'm just selecting these loop slice markers, and now I'm going to delete. So what's left here is 8th notes in 4/4 time, 2 bars, and those are the slices. So the only thing left to do here is to export. So we're going to choose a WAV file format. We're going to export these slices, and I'm just going to go to, I guess I'll just save them right there. No, I'll do new folder. So this one sample is now becoming 16 samples. And when we go to our desktop and look in the folder, there you can see 16 separate samples of one longer sample. The next step in the process is to get your samples imported into your drum program. In my case, I use Native Instruments Battery as my core drum kit. I also use Reason to plug in other types of kits around my main kit, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you how to import into Battery because it's super easy. So we're in Battery. I have my samples over here. My network just disconnected, so we're going to ignore that. So basically all you do is you just grab one of your samples, place it into what Battery calls a cell. If you're familiar with Battery, you know that every cell can have a different sample in it. So all I'm doing now is I'm just kind of dragging each of those samples into a different section or a different cell. And then what I have to do is I have to map all these samples to match where I want them on my kit. Now, if you've seen a picture of my kit, I have a lot of pads to choose from. I generally have the main core kit right in the center here. And then sometimes I use the outside pads as plugins to the main kit, additions to the main kit, like orchestral percussion might be over here. An 802 drum machine might be over here. So in this example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to place all these samples on these pads over here. And a lot of my pads I have laid out with MIDI numbers that correspond to general MIDI. So getting back to Battery, you can see that here's all my samples that I previously laid out. And if we click on one, we can see the key range. These are the MIDI note numbers, so you want to make sure whatever pads you're assigning these to, that they are assigned to the right pads, so that you have the fragments laid out on the kit where you want them. Another consideration I had was, okay, how am I going to perform this? Where is the best place to put each sample? And through trial and error, I determined the right place for each sample so that I'm not kind of cross-sticking or making it too difficult for myself. So that is kind of the whole process there. Of course, you know, you can pan your samples, you can add any kind of effects or anything you want. I just chose to keep everything dry so it would sound pretty much like the original. All right, thanks so much for coming by today, everybody. If you like videos like this and you want to see more of them, be sure to come back. I will be posting weekly, and hit that subscribe button to stay up to date, and I will see you next time.